Hello and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, some people of the tube. Hope you are today, hope you are feeling grand and all is well in your world. Hello there, everybody. I'd be certainly feeling a lot happier if my camera hadn't just crashed and lost basically question 1, which I now have to answer again. So I'd already answered question 1, but then my camera crashed and lost the file, and now we have to start again. So cheers. Anyway, it's doing that a lot recently, but I think it's the memory card, actually. I don't think it's the camera, so I do apologise, Mr. QA. I think it's the memory card in you. I think it's a bit dodge. But hopefully we won't have any more interruptions. Hopefully we'll be okay this time. Okay, so question 1 today is, how can I learn to improvise, and how do I improvise like John Frusciante? Okay, so I can answer kind of both in kind of one roundabout kind of thing, which I have already done, and I'm going to have to try and answer it again. Okay, that's very frustrating, people of YouTube, I've got to say. Okay, so here we go again. So learning to improvise. Okay, so step 1 when learning to improvise is to learn the guitar neck. You know, learn it in keys. You know, learn it in different keys. E, A, D, whatever. You know, D especially if you want to learn John Frusciante. D minor especially. So, learn the guitar neck. Learn how to go up and down it and know what notes you can use and know what notes you can't use. So that's step 1. Learn the 5 positions of your pentatonic scale. Up and down. I've got hiccups. I do apologise. And it's going well today. So, yeah, learn your scales up and down. You know, and know where you can go and know where you can't go. Just kind of get an idea of what, you know, the neck and starting to understand that, you know, where you can and cannot go. Because that is key to improvisation. You need to know where you are, just in case something goes wrong, you get lost, and you know you have to, you have to find your way back, you know, to the path if you kind of wander off. So that would be my first kind of thing to recommend to you, would be to kind of, like I say, just learn the neck up and down and try and understand where you're going, you know, where you can go, what you can do, and this, that, and the other. So 5 positions of your pentatonic scale to start with, and going up and down. Just learn those notes. Find where you can and cannot go. So the next thing I would say would be to start learning the solos of your heroes. So John Frusciante, for instance. So start looking, and especially at live. You know, live is normally where improvisation happens more than anything. So you want to go onto YouTube or Slane Castle DVD if anybody has DVDs anymore, or Off a Map DVD if anybody has that anymore, and just watch John and watch where he goes, and also learn his improvised guitar solos. You know, learn them note for a start. And in so doing, you'll start to get an idea of where he goes and where he doesn't go, and certain patterns he'll use over and over again. And then you can start to kind of log these in your mind and start to bring them out in your improvisations. But the first, the number one thing to remember though is when you first start... Yes, crashed again. Okay, so number one thing to remember... My God, this is going to get frustrating if this keeps happening. I'm going to have to get a different memory card and see if it's that. Anyway. So, yeah, the number one thing to remember is when you first start improvising, I'm paranoid now. So, is when you first start improvising, it's going to be bad. You know, you're going to have to fail miserably at it several 100 million times before you start to get it. You know what I mean? It's not something that you can just like pick up a guitar, learn a couple of solos, learn a couple of scales, and do. It doesn't work that way. You know, you really have to put the time in, effort, and you have to earn it. And it takes a long time. You know, some of the best improvisers in the world have spent years doing it. You know what I mean? They spend years on learning where they cannot go and stuff like that, and kind of just that style, you know. And the same went for me. I mean, I'm not very good at, I'm not amazing improvisational guy at all. I mean, I think I'm okay, but I'm not fantastic. I'm not anything like my heroes like Jimmy or John or Dave Gilmour or Peter Green. You know, I stand in the shadows of them as most of us do. But it took me years to be able to do it. You know, my first improvised guitar solos are terrible. And I have the tapes to prove it. You know, they sound absolutely atrocious. They're just meaningless notes and just kind of just chaos more than anything. You know, they're not very good. But that's okay, because that's the point. You know, I failed, you know, so many times that, you know, you have to fail to learn. You know, you're not going to learn anything if you don't fail. You know, if you just succeed at everything, you never learn anything. and you haven't earned it either. If you just succeed all the time, you're never earning anything. You're just getting it basically for free, and nothing's free in this life. People of a tube, as you well know, cliche Dave. Okay, so but yeah, I mean that's where I would go. And then also another thing is start to learn your other heroes' guitar solos, and then start taking bits from them and mixing them with John, and then all of a sudden you get your own little voice, because you're an amalgamation of all different guitarists. You're not just John Frusciante, you're whatever, whoever, and you get your own voice that way. Through emulating your heroes, you start to sound like yourself. It's that line that I repeat all the time that John Mayer said, and it's very, very true. I totally believe in it personally, because that's the way I feel I'm progressing, is by trying to be John Frusciante mainly. Since I first saw John play, I've just wanted to play like that. I've just wanted to play like him. I wanted to sound like him, and nothing's changed. In 18 years, nothing's changed, and it's still that want and desire is still there to this day. I love the man. I love his sound. I love his playing. It's the pinnacle for me on guitar. Even above people like Jimi Hendrix and Rory Gallagher and Peter Green and Paul Kossoff and Mike McCready. It's John's the man for me. He's my ultimate hero. And but again, to learn to play like him, you've got to get into his mind, which means you've got to learn everything he does. You've got to learn well, not everything, but you have to learn a lot of what he does, and you have to understand where he's going at any given point in time, and understand the patterns, and also understand the phrasing he uses, and also how it's singing and this, that, and the other. So that only comes through basically just dedication and practice and sitting and just figuring it out for years on end. It doesn't come in a week or a month. It comes in years. This takes years. There's nothing quick with the guitar, and rightly so. It shouldn't be quick. Certain things are quick on guitar, yes, but anything worthwhile doing on the guitar takes a long time, and like I say, rightly so, because then you've earned it. You need to earn these things. The guitar is a skill you need to earn. It's much in the same way as like a painter. They're not just born an amazing painter. They've learnt to do that. And the same thing with other people, sculptors, and through hours and hours and hours of failing and years. Okay, getting a little annoyed now. This is becoming too much of a regular occurrence. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah, hours and hours and years of failing, you get good at something. That's how it works, Anyway, so learning to improvise like John, like what I said earlier on. So yeah, my camera's going to crash again. I know it is. I can just feel it in my bones, and it's very frustrating. Okay, let's stay calm, if that's possible. So yeah, so that's what I'd recommend. So I hope that's answered your question. I'm going to move on to question 2 now. So yeah, hopefully that made some kind of sense. I would go on more, but I can't because I've lost my train of thought thanks to Mr. Memory Card or Camera, or maybe both. We just don't know. Anyway, I'm not angry at all. I'm okay. I'm calm. Anyway, I'm wasting time. Moving. So, question 2. Question 2 is: do you think there's a Strat pickup that sounds really bad with too much gain? Too much gain? What's too much gain? You can't have enough gain, surely. Anyway, I thought it crashed again then. I'm paranoid now. I'm very paranoid. Okay, so yeah, do you think there's a Strat pickup that sounds really bad with too much gain? Not that I can think of. Not that I've tried. Even lace sensors, which I despise, by the way, people of the tube. I've never liked lace sensor pickups. I've tried them time and time again, and I despise them in many, many ways. But do I think there's a Strat pickup that sounds bad with too much gain? No. But I am biased in that because I love single coil pickups. I am an absolute single coil fanatic. So I love single coils. So, but saying that, I can't really think of any humbuckers I found that suffer with too much gain, to be honest with you. I don't, they're all, no, can't think of any. So, no, I don't think there's any that really kind of like suffer. Even the cheap ones, even the cheap like ceramic ones, I think sound really cool. Yeah, they wail and they scream because they're microphonic, But I really like them. You know, I really like the sound, and I kind of like the challenge, and it also reminds me of Kurt Cobain because it just screams all the time, and it's well cool. But no, I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head that makes me go, oh god, yeah, that was rubbish. You know what I mean? I can't. No, I honestly can't think of any. No, because they still sounded good with gain. I was gonna say Squire Affinity pickups, but the Squire Affinity pickups I had in my Jimi Hendrix Strat still sounded really good. You know, but in all fairness, they actually sounded better with distortion through them than they did clean. Clean, they sounded crap, but with distortion, they sounded really good. So, you know, be that for what that may. But yeah. So, is there a Strat pickup I can think of that sounds bad with too much gain? No, I can think of. So, you also asked, what's your favourite Strat pickups? Okay, my favourite Strat pickups, I've said this loads of times, are Tex-Mex pickups. It's the pickups that are in my white Fender. My 60s reissue white Strat, my number one guitar. They're my favourites because that's what my ear likes. You know, I mean, I love Nick's pickups. I love Evil Sheep pickups. I don't like Seymour Duncan pickups. I've tried so many Seymour Duncan pickups, and I've never really warmed to any of them. You know, the SSL ones, I tried them. I didn't like them. I've tried some humbuckers. I've tried some others. I've tried hot rails. And I don't like them. They lack something, you know. I like Mojo Tone. I like some others as well. But I always come back to those Tex-Mex. Every time I plug in my white Strat, I'm just like, that's the sound I want to hear when I plug in a Stratocaster. Because certain pickups in certain guitars I have, I'm like, I really like the bridge pickup, but the neck pickup isn't quite as good. Or I really like the neck pickup, but the bridge pickup isn't quite as good. Or the middle pickup isn't quite as good. Whereas on my white Strat, all three pickups, the neck, middle, and bridge, are all perfect. They sound exactly how I'd want them to sound. So, Tex-Mex pickups for me. Love them to bits. So, people of the tube, question to you. What is your favourite Strat pickups and why? Let us know in the comment section below. Okay, so moving on. Question 3 today. So, question 3 is, can you get a good... It's because I'm infuriated over the camera issues. So question 3 is, can you get a good jazz tone out of a Katana 100? Yes. Yeah, no problem at all. I mean, I'd recommend using the clean channel and not touching the treble. Really, maybe not touching the presence and just using kind of like, you know, its bass tone and maybe bringing up the mids a little bit. I wouldn't recommend maybe using the bass if you've got a hollow-bodied humbucker jazz guitar. I'd maybe just use the clean channel, maybe bring up the mids, use a bit of reverb, and that'd be it. So yeah, yes, you can definitely get, you know, in all fairness, I don't know what you can't get out of a Katana, if I'm being perfectly honest. You know, it's a ridiculous amp for versatility. The Katana is absolutely insane. So yeah, you can easily get a good jazz sound out of a Katana 100. I don't really know how to, because it's not a sound I like or go for, but that's what I would recommend, is go clean. Maybe have the gain about half volume all the way up on the channel. No bass, middle maybe about 9 o'clock, maybe. No treble, no presence, maybe a bit of reverb. And that's my recommendation, and it's going to be bad. Because I don't do jazz guitar tones. I like dark tones, but I'm no good at jazz. You know. But that's where, if you want like a jumping off point, that's where I would say. But yeah, it's, you know, I don't know that sound, you know what I mean? It's not a sound I'd go for or anything like that, but somebody pulled up just then, stopped, got out of the car, got back in the car, now they're driving off again. Bizarre. Anyway, moving along. So, but yeah, you can. You know, I'm pretty sure you can get a really good jazz tone out of a Katana 100. They're great amps, you know what I mean? They're just amazing. I just recommend the Katana over anything right now. You know what I mean? If they brought out that Marshall MG again, I'd recommend that. If they, you know, the CR120, I always recommend that as well. But for versatility, the Katana just is versatile beyond. It really is. I mean, it's just insane, the versatility of that thing. Incredible amps. Absolutely incredible. And I miss my 100, and I'm looking forward to getting back to it when I get back to it, because I really miss it. I mean, I've got my 50, and I love my 50. I was playing through my 50 the other month now, actually. Week. No, it was the other week. Haha! Fool, David. So yeah, I was playing through the 50 the other week, and I just, every time I plug into a 50, I'm like, how is it that's good? How is it this good? And the same with the Katana artist that sat over there. They're just insanely amazing instruments. They really amps. Sorry, boy. And yeah, highly recommend them. Just amazing. You know, you can't go wrong with Katana. I really don't feel you can. So yeah, definitely get a good jazz tone out of it, because you can't you can't fail to get anything you want out of a Katana. Personally, I don't think. I think everything's in there. I really do. I have a strong belief in that. Okay, so going to move on to final question today. Question 4. I'm sorry about it being rushed and feeling rushed. I'm scared that my camera's going to crash and totally lose everything because it's done that before. But I do believe it's not the camera. I believe it's the memory card. So I'm going to get a new memory card because this one is just acting the goat far too often, and I can't be dealing with that. Okay, so moving on. Final question of the day, really question 4. So question 4 is, what do you think to the Fender Esquire? Do you like them, and have you ever had one? I've never had an Esquire, but I have played a few, and yes, I love Esquires. I had a Revelation Telecaster 4 years ago now. No, maybe about 3 years ago. No, 2017. So yeah, I had a Revelation Telecaster in 2017 into 2018. I eventually sold it, but I esquired that guitar. I just took the neck pickup out because the neck pickup in it was really. Well, no, it wasn't really good. It was okay, but it was a bit dark and woolly, and I didn't really get on with it. So but the bridge pickup was insanely amazing. So I esquired it and basically just had one pickup, and I really liked it. I really loved the fact that like it was just a one pickup Telecaster. It sounded really good, but being a Telecaster full thickness, big heavy chunk of wood, we didn't get on, sadly, and eventually I sold it just because it wasn't a match made in heaven, unfortunately. So eventually it went. But I did put the neck pickup back in when I sold it. It didn't leave as an Esquire. But I've tried a couple of Esquires. I've tried a couple of Fender custom shop ones when I was in Old Hat, and a couple of others here and there. And yeah, they're wicked. Esquires, there's something to be said about having one pickup. It's like Les Paul Juniors and stuff like that, you know, in SG Juniors and, you know, just stuff like that. There is something to be said for one pickup. You know, the minimalistic, simplistic kind of thing of what it is. It's very cool. It's very cool, yeah. And I like the way it looks with a Telecaster. Stevie Ray Vaughan had a one pickup Stratocaster. It was yellow with just a neck pickup, and it looked weird, and I didn't like the way it looked. But an Esquire with a single pickup and just a white scratch plate looks amazing. I don't know why. The Telecaster really lends itself to that look. The same thing with Les Paul Juniors as well. I mean, they look really cool. Even a Les Paul, to be honest with you, if you look at some pictures of Eddie Van Halen when he had that Les Paul, I don't know if it's a 59. It looks like a 59 or a 58. He had a Les Paul, but he took the neck pickup out of it and just had the bridge. It looks cool. You know, I don't think Stratocasters look as good without all three pickups. I think even the Ritchie Blackmore Stratocaster that doesn't have a middle pickup looks weird. You know, I don't like the look of it so much. I'm very traditionalist in Stratocasters. But I think the Tele Esquire looks amazing. I love it. I mean, I've got no desire to own one. Definitely not. I mean, I don't need to. You know, I'm not interested. But they are amazing, and I would never pass up the opportunity to play on one and mess around with one because, like I say, there's definitely something to be said for having a single pickup on a Telecaster. It's so cool, and I like it very much. But yeah, they're great guitars, awesome guitars. I say, especially if the neck pickups, if a bridge pickup, is an absolute beast of a Telecaster pickup, then you're like, yes, it rules the day. You know, if the pickup's good, the guitar's good. You know, and my Revelation bridge pickup was amazing. It had a real sting to it. It was so good. So yeah, I really like Esquires. I like the look. I like the way they sound. I don't like the feel because I don't like the body of a Telecaster. I just don't get on with the full thickness. You know, it just doesn't work for me. But they are great guitars. You know, I can't say no. I can't say no to one. They're very, very cool. But yeah, so yeah, I do love Esquires. People of the tube, here's another one for you. Do you like Fender Esquires? If so, why? If not, why? Let us know in the comment section below. I like involving you lot. I like to read your comments and see what you have to say because it's amazing how people are different. Okay, so there we go, people of the tube. That's another A&Q. I'm sorry it was disjointed and rushed because silly memory card issues, but hopefully I've answered your questions okay. If I haven't, I do apologise. As usual, hello, Mr. Fear. But hopefully I've answered your questions okay. I hope there's something in there you can take away. And I'll see you again for another vid on Friday. I have another pedal to show you on Friday. Very cool pedal. Really look forward to playing it for you and seeing what you think as well, people of the tube. So yeah, I'm going to tell you what it is, but we'll see on Friday. So, yeah, have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, everybody, and I'll see you again for another vid very soon. Anything else I need to say? I don't think there is. I always have to second guess these things, you see. But no, I think we're good. Yes, that's it, everybody. So thank you very much indeed for watching, and I hope I've answered questions okay. Oh yeah, if you want to submit a question for Q&A Wednesday, description box below, has an email link. Looks like this. How weird does that look? Anyway, it looks like that. And yeah, if you want to submit a question, email me there and I will get to it when I get to it, because I go through sequentially. I don't pick and choose unless I've already answered the question, in which case I will not answer it again. So it's only new questions from now on, and it has been for a long time, because I found I was repeating myself far too often and it was getting a bit frustrating, lack of a better word. And I think people were getting a bit bored of seeing the same old questions pop up too. So yeah. Anyway, so I hope it's questions okay. I hope you enjoyed this vid. That guitar is magical in every possible way. And yeah, I'll see you again on Friday for another one. And yeah, pedal demo. And yeah, have a great one until then. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. Goodbye now. Cheers.